Good morning. Happy Sunday. Penelope and I coming to you live from the couch, except we're not live. We're in a recording studio, also known as my couch. So I ordered these, and I'm sorry if this causes you trauma, because I do have a little bit of trauma every time I see it. I ordered these to be a gag gift for the girls. However, they're not afraid. They were like, "Oh, Miss Tracy," and they just pick it up and move it, and I'm like, that thing looks real, okay? And they took this one and threw it over there under the chair. So when I was cleaning the other day, I nearly freaked out when I saw it, because I never see these live things in the house, right? So I thought the thing to do would be, oh, I got potato chips on my shirt. I just got through eating. I got potato chip remnants on my shirt. Anyway, so I thought the other day, since Naomi was coming over and she was going to make brownies, that I would trick her. So I took out the butter, I took out the 2 eggs, I took out the little measuring cup, had it all laid out on the counter, and then I took out the big mixing bowl that we use, that she uses, and I put this underneath the little whisk thing. So she comes in, I'm like, let's go ahead and get started on the brownies, because they always take the longest to cook. It's like 35 minutes. And if we waste any time, we're going to go over the hour. And I'm always, I don't mean for it to sound bad, but on Monday and Wednesday, I have to get my shower after they leave, because I go to work at the office on Tuesday and Thursday. Now, the rest of the week, I can either take a bath at night or in the morning, or both if I want to, which I don't like to take a bath both, because that really dries your skin out. But that's not the point. I just don't like for them to go much over the 8 o'clock. Plus, that's their bedtime. They have to get home, get ready for bed. Naomi usually does Phoenix's hair to get it ready for the next day, because that hair. I'm sorry, I'm picking at my teeth because I just finished eating and I feel like I have food in my mouth. So anyway, I put that in there, and she just rolled her eyes and took it out and threw it. And not threw it, but tossed it, and it ended up under the microwave, which then scared me again. So my joke keeps coming back on me because it freaks me out. She said, "Miss Tracy, I'm not afraid of them, so this is never going to bother me." She said, "Matter of fact, my teacher came to school one day, and she started squealing because at something in her purse, and one of these, live and in person, was in her purse. I almost said purse, and she was having a fit, and she was like, 'I'll get it for you.' And she said, 'I just went up there and reached through and grabbed it, and I don't know what she did with it. I didn't ask, because I don't want to know, because I also don't like to kill them. I will. Don't get me wrong, I will, but I don't like to, because I don't like the that sound, that no. I will sweep it out the door if I can, or I'll hit it with something else, but I can't step on it. I can't. I'd rather see that snake that I saw the other day on the back porch than one of these. Yeah. But anyway, my joke backfired on me twice so far, because it scared me more than it scared them. So rude. They did not go to Six Flags yesterday. They went to, I had to ask them what it was, because all I saw was pictures. And I said, "Where'd y'all go?" And she said, "The Trinidadian Parade." I was like, we had a Trinidadian parade around here? It was probably in Atlanta. But they had on the most beautiful costumes, and they were doing dances and stuff like that. So their mom sent me some of the pictures. They were cool. And she said, "Today, I think we're going to go to Whitewater." And I'm like, it's like 70 degrees. 71 degrees. But they might go to the movies first. So I'm glad they're getting to do stuff this summer. And it's only 2 cousins that are over there. And she said the two oldest boys, I think it was, said, we're out. And they left. They were like, we don't want to be here for all this. It's too much estrogen going on in the house. So she said they're going to go see some movie and then go to Whitewater, because Whitewater's a lot closer. It's probably like 15 minutes away, whereas Six Flags is more, it depends on the time of day you go, but it could be 45 minutes. I mean, it's all in the same county. But anyway, but I'm like, 70 degrees at Whitewater? That's going to be cold. And they were like, do you want to go? And I said, no. I mean, I didn't mean to answer that so quickly, but no. But back to this. I have a story to tell you about this thing. Not this thing, but a real thing. So I worked with this woman. Bless her. Is all I can say is bless her. She was always, I don't want this to sound mean because I did love her, okay? But let me just give you an idea, okay? She came to work and she had something all over the front of her shirt. Okay. And when the lieutenant asked her about it, she was like, oh, the baby threw up on me this morning. She didn't clean it up or change, okay? She was intelligent. Yeah, she was intelligent. When we all had to write up our job duty descriptions and all that stuff, the colonel said hers was one of the most well-written. So she wasn't an ignorant person. She just didn't really care about her appearance at all, okay? And then one time she came in and she said that her granddaughter was sent home from school the day before for lice. And she was telling me this, and I said, okay, what did you do about the lice? And she goes, what do you mean? You have to do a lot when the lice gets in your head, okay? You have to do a lot. Like, wash everything, launder everything, wash and pick out nits, okay? She said, oh, I just sent her back to school today. My laundry's done. Y'all hear my beautiful song? That's to remind me to get up and go put it in the dryer, which I'll probably forget since I'm in the middle of making a video. But anyway, so yeah, that's just kind of how, that's just the kind of person she was, okay? But she was so sweet and kind, and I mean, the hardest I ever laughed is when I walked around the corner and she was just standing there talking to someone and her pants just dropped to her ankles without any warning whatsoever. She was kind of built like my grandmother. She was all belly, all belly, all belly, no hips, no butt, no legs, just belly, okay? And she was wearing pants and I don't know what happened, but they just dropped. And you know, normally you might scream or squeal or, I don't know, just, she just bent straight over at the waist and pulled them back up like nothing ever happened. So, all that to say, she brought in her camera to work one day, getting back to this, and she told the sergeant, she said, I don't know why I can't get my camera to work, but I can't see through the viewfinder to see what I'm taking a picture of. And he said, oh, okay. So he goes and gets a screwdriver to take the back off of said camera. And when he did, a whole lot of these, except the small ones, ran out of her camera because apparently a mama got in there and had babies or something. She also threw up on the lieutenant's desk, which was quite funny for me because it wasn't my desk. But she got up and she was taking off running through the room to get to the door so she could get to the bathroom. I mean, I would have probably took a trash can with me if I felt it was coming like that. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't think like that. And she only got 2 desks up and she somehow just turned and all over her desk. I mean, again, I would have went for a trash can. You know, sometimes there are people who are really intelligent, but they don't have a lot of walking around sense. Yeah. I think she might have been one of those. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, I thought of that when I put that in the bowl. But I texted the girl's mom this morning, and I told her, I said, tell Naomi her Jell-O shots are ready. And then I was like, well, she called them Jell-O cups, but they actually look like Jell-O shots. And she wrote back, the emoji with the crying with tears. And she said she's on the way. So I put all of them in a bag so she could take them home. So we took these little, like the little Dixie cups. She mixed up the Jell-O, Jello, the strawberry Jell-O, and then to it she added coconut, like sweetened coconut, and she put a little bit in the bottom of the cup, and then she poured, and then she added it to the top, and it kind of sunk down. Anyway, it was quite delicious. I took them all out there to her, and she said, did you taste it? And I said, well, no, because I thought you made enough for everybody to have one. And she said, that includes you, Miss Tracy. And I was like, oh, well, okay. So I took one out, and I tried to do it like a Jell-O shot, but it was too stuck to the inside of the Dixie cup. So I took my finger and dug some out and ate it. And I said, my mama used to make Jell-O salads with like strawberry Jell-O, and she would cut up apples and sometimes grapes, and you can use pineapple and pecans. I said, you can use all kinds of fruits and nuts and stuff to do this, but the strawberry with the sweetened coconut was quite delicious. But I think the coconut and maybe some pineapple and some pecans, that'd be real good. But anyway, she poured it in those cups. It's not like she made it in a bowl and then spooned it in. She actually poured the Jell-O in the cups. So, yeah, it was good. Yeah, so that's that. And I'm through making this video. So I hope you have a great day. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. We hope he's not coming. We hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy. Where did that come from? And I'll talk to you on the next one, okay? Toodles.